A good start to the new Gennaro Advent Premier season, Shauna. One game played and top of the table.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked us that before the game, it's not something we were really expecting or thinking on the drive home that's where we'd be finishing at the top of the table. But ultimately, the girls got the job done, and the manner that they did it with 5 different goal scorers and keeping a clean sheet is one that we're proud of for that first league game.
Was there a particular aspect of that 5-0 victory that pleased you the most?
Definitely combination between having those 5 different goal scorers, but then also maintaining a clean sheet. Barry poses lots of problems, and going into the half time only 1-0 up. It's something that we were not exactly happy with. We felt that we created more than enough chance in the first half, but too many offsides and not being disciplined enough with how we created the attack was what left us only at 1-0 at half time. But ultimately, the way that the girls came out in the second half really showcased what they are like going forward, and the way that they were able to retain the ball better and create different chances out wide, centrally and stuff like that was what was most pleasing.
How important is it now then for your side to continue that momentum after all? Although that is a good start, still just one game played and there's still a long, long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And the girls know that. It's not something that we're going to let us get carried away around or anything like that. We know, especially going into Sunday, how tough of a challenge that can be. But ultimately, the girls deserve the result that they got at the weekend, and they worked hard for that. And it's something that we can look back on, reflect on, and then make sure that the wrongs that were made can get put right going into the new weekend against Aber.
It's our first home game of the season this coming Sunday. We host Aberystwyth, as you've just mentioned there. You must be excited to finally get back to home turf and play in front of our own supporters.
Yeah, of course, and it's one that we were hoping would be the first league game. Everyone likes to get a home draw on your first league game, but ultimately we had to take the long journey down to Barry first. But now that we've prepared and we're ready to go on Sunday, it's one that we're looking forward to, and it's one that we welcome fans off the back of a really good result last week, and it's one that everyone's looking forward to.
If we cast our minds back to February, it was Aberystwyth who beat us for the final place in the top 4. Will you look at this game as a chance for the players to exact a bit of revenge, perhaps?
You know, it's always a difficult one when we've been faced with lots of challenges from Aber in the past. We've always had good cup runs against them, but ultimately they were the team that pipped us to the post, and it's not one that, as staff, we were happy with. It's one that players were really frustrated with. And there's always a little bit of rivalry there. They're a tough, strong team, just like we are, and every single game that we play against Aber is always a good battle, and it's one that the girls are more than ready for now.
Well, we do hold a very good record against the Seasiders. We played them 7 times over the last 3 seasons. We've only lost 1 of those games. They've also never won here at Park Hall either, so will that provide any sort of psychological advantage?
You would think so, potentially, but ultimately we just want to focus on what we can do, and that's making sure we get 3 points from the game, and we work just as hard in possession as we do out of possession, and if that's what we do on Sunday, we manage to get the 3 points and do it in the manner that we did in the second half against Barry. It's one that we'll be happy with.
We saw a number of new signings make their debuts last weekend, one of which, Sophie Phillips, was named in the Gennaro Advent League's Team of the Week. Have you been surprised at how quickly the squad has gelled together?
No, it's a credit to the girls, really. The way that they've all come in and they've bought into exactly what we want as a staffing team. We've given them a lot of information over the last pre-season, and ultimately it was down to them to either buy into it or it's going to be difficult for them. And really the whole group have bought into what we want, and whether that's what they're doing at home, what they're doing in the gym, what they're doing with the strength conditioning coaches, what they do in analysis, every single piece of the puzzle they've really bought into, and it's a credit to them. But also off pitch and away from TNS, they are a good group, and they get on well, and they go and socialise and stuff like that. And ultimately, I think when you look back on that second half at the weekend, you could see how tight-knit the group were. And again, it's a credit to the girls that travelled with us. The bus was full on Sunday, and in the last 12 months that I've been at TNS, it's not something that we've had before. So I think that family feel is there, and it's a credit to them.
And finally, what's the latest regarding the injury and availability situation? Did everyone make it through Sunday's game unscathed?
Yeah, everyone's fit and healthy, and we go into Sunday again with a full squad, but this time even tougher decisions than last week due to the performances that some of the girls put in. It's a no-brainer. You wouldn't be able to take them out, where obviously girls that were on the bench or girls that weren't in the squad have done everything that they needed to do this week to try and fight for their shirt now, and it's definitely giving me and Tom a headache, but it's one that we're happy to have because it shows the direction that we're going in.
And I know I did say that was the final question, but I have got one more. It was obviously your birthday on Sunday. You got the 3 points. How did you celebrate on Sunday night?
Again, just with the team, like coming home on the bus. Won't exactly go into the details of what went on the bus, but it was a good laugh. And again, team bonding like that goes a long way, and it's a memory that I'll never forget, especially with it being my first one in charge of the TNS women's team. It's one that was memorable.